Welcome back to another episode of the CINO Legacy Podcast, where cryptocurrency meets private aviation. I'm here with Ryan CINO, founder and creator of CINO Token. CINO Token is a cryptocurrency on the Solana blockchain that Ryan created for the aviation industry. Basically a substitute payment system to just make things quicker, easier, more efficient, because checks and money orders and
less reliant on other outside agencies like the banking system, the mail system, all that kind of stuff. Because in aviation, if I don't get paid immediately, my customer flies away to another part of the world. Try to collect payments later from somebody who's in Bali or or flying around the planet. It's very hard to do that stuff. So with the CINO token on the Solana blockchain, you can pay any amount of money to anybody in the world in under a minute for very low fees, right? In addition to that, we created the CINO Wallet App, which allows you to one-click buy the CINO token, right? Very easy. And I think we're the only Solana app or project that has a peer-to-peer marketplace, which allows holders to trade off the decentralized exchange. So you can list however many tokens you want. You can list the sale price for them, either below the DEX pricing or above the DEX pricing, depending on the situation. And then anybody who holds the app can view what's for sale and purchase those, and the app will act as the escrow agent. And not only did I build that for the CINO wallet, we can build that app for any project out there. We can offer that marketplace to anybody. If you're interested, you have a project and you'd like to use that marketplace, just hit me up. We can definitely make an arrangement.
like a white label.
Yeah, something. Or I'm into customizing the situation for each individual, what they need for each project. I have no problem making it to how they want to use it.
So people who are into investing and cryptocurrency and stocks even, you could treat CINO like a stock, although it has purpose and it was built with a specific intention to substitute USD.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, I don't want to say substitute. I'd like it to work hand in hand with the US dollar. I mean, when we're dealing with customers from other parts of the world, it's very different. I being United States citizen and my company is a United States company, I need to be paid in the dollar. But if you are dealing with, the euro or whatever else, a transaction needs to happen, not with crypto. We don't need to do that. So it's definitely beneficial.
If people want to invest in this, they could get the CINO Wallet app.
Yep, on Apple Store or Google Play. Just search CINO Wallet, download the app. It's free, and
it's also available on Coinbase and Phantom as well.
You can buy the token on the decentralized exchange or through the Coinbase exchange. Absolutely, you can buy it on Phantom. I think there's a few other hot wallets that offer it. We're listed on CoinGecko and the other one too. I can't remember that name right now.
Okay,
but we did all the listings and security updates and all that stuff.
That's awesome. So it's a great product. The peer-to-peer marketplace is awesome, one of a kind.
You just used it, didn't you?
I just used it. I sold $200 worth.
Yeah, nice. Tell everybody how it worked for you.
It was so easy.
It was, right?
Literally so easy.
Yeah. And quick.
Yes.
And that's the thing. The app will act as the escrow agent, so you don't have to worry about sending somebody money or tokens and not getting paid. Both parties have to do their part in the app for the transaction to happen.
You're also not affecting the charts negatively for anybody else holding the token.
Nope, not at all.
Right. And in the very beginning, you started this with the intention of helping other people.
That's my only point in doing this. I say it again, right? I don't need to enrich myself from the rewards of the cryptocurrency. I've had a strong business who's done very well for myself. I'm on my road to retirement. I have everything I need and want. I have access to.
Yeah, I mean, for crying out loud, you're collecting Pokemon cards now.
Yeah, right? Well, my son has got me
a little new hobby.
Yeah, my son. Well, let's not talk about that.
I'll cut that out.
No, you don't have to cut it out. But Yeah, I mean, listen, it gives me the ability to do the fun things in life that I'm not worried about, you know. I'm not worried. I don't need this money to survive, you know. Like you asked me when we first started if I had $2 million worth of CINO token and I liquidated it, what would I buy? And I'm like, I don't really know if I would buy anything because I have and buy whatever I need now. Like $2 million extra won't. You get to a certain point where the dollar amount doesn't matter, right? So like, what's the difference if you have 2 million or 3 million? Like, it doesn't matter. Like, I'm not spending the money. I don't need anything else. I'm not living outside of my means. I practice what I preach in helping people who are struggling financially. I don't, you know, I live well within what I earn, and then I just invest in, you know, I think the investing part of it is kind of soothes a little bit of a gambling addiction. Like just same thing with the Pokemon cards. It's not about the cards for me. It's the excitement of ripping open a pack and hoping to win. It's like, you know, I guess a slot machine and euphoria kind of thing. So it's just something fun, right? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Do you understand where I'm coming from?
Yeah. What are your thoughts on gambling?
As long as you can control your gambling, I don't have a problem with it. You know, when you start to say like, when I gamble, I decide for myself that evening I'm going to take X amount of dollars with me. I'm going to leave at X amount of dollars, whether I'm negative or positive. This is where it is. Whether I'm there for 15 minutes or 5 hours, the numbers dictate where and what I'm doing. I got it. You have to take the emotion out of it. You have to not say, oh, but if I try $100 more, I may win everything back. If you're negative that night, you're negative that night. That's it. Take the L, go back and regroup. And when you have extra income, disposable income that you're willing to gamble, to go try again. You know, and if you're the guy going to the casino every day trying,
Yeah.
you have a problem. You can't convince me any other way that you don't have an addiction, because that's what it is.
Yeah.
If you need to go every day or you need to go every Friday, you have an addiction. You know, and you need to deal with that. You know, like any other addiction, you need to deal with it.
Yeah.
But if you use that gambling as fun with friends once in a while, then knock yourself out, man.
What if you win every day?
I don't think the casinos would be in business if people won every day. Like it wouldn't be, you know, the house always wins. That saying came up for a reason. You know, like you will win sometimes. You know, your luck will be in your favor, but it's not a consistent business model. You just have to use it as fun, right?
Indeed.
So
yeah, you can't use it as like your main source of
I mean,
income.
some people can, and some people make a ton of money, and some people lose a ton of money. You know, that some people get into big trouble, and
You're like that guy Mickey Mace.
I've heard of Mickey Mace, and I have nothing bad to say about him. My only concern is that it's on social media, and I don't believe a lot of what's on social media. Right? We could fill up a suitcase with fake money that you can buy online, and we can show that off. And I believe the guy. I mean, if he's saying he's done what he's done, more power to you.
Yeah.
Maybe he's got a system. Maybe he knows how to rock baccarat like nobody else's business. You know, maybe that's why he's banned. From casino. I don't know. I don't know enough about him. I would like to meet him. I think he's an interesting character. You know,
for sure.
I don't even want to say character. I want to say person, because I have nothing bad to say about him. You know. That's a cool lifestyle. It's pretty awesome.
Would you gamble with him?
No, because I would probably lose. You know, like I don't know. I can't gamble in those amounts of money. I don't know his system as well, and I've never put that much effort into learning gambling that much. So would I want to learn from him? Absolutely. I want to learn something from everybody every day. I've
been learning a lot about blackjack and baccarat listening to some of his videos.
Yeah, I like blackjack. I mean, I wouldn't say I'm a shark at it, but I usually come out a little ahead when I play blackjack. You know, I'll come up $1,000 or $2 when I play.
That's awesome.
So yeah, but I don't play often because I'm sure the odds will, you know, my negatives will be much
stronger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know.
Yep.
So
yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I like it. I watch his videos. I think he's pretty interesting.
He
you know,
is
like
interesting.
I think it's pretty
He grew
cool.
up in New Jersey too.
Yeah, I heard that.
Yeah.
I heard that. So yeah, I would love to talk to him or meet him, or I mean, if that ever happened, you know, I'm not a person who, since I work in the private aviation industry, I do meet a lot of people and who are famous, right? Let's just use the word famous. I meet a lot of, Wall Street people and, musicians and
Yeah.
actors. And I do meet a lot of people. And since it's called private aviation for a reason, right? Like I don't ever want to intrude in somebody. I don't ever want to make somebody that I'm meeting feel like I want something from them. So I live my life that way. I don't want anything from anybody. If he's interested in what I have to say, or they're interested in what I have to say, and I'm interested in what they're to say, then we have a nice conversation. If not, I don't ever want to come across as I want something. Would I like to meet Mickey May? Sure. I think it'd be interesting. I think it'd be great. I think it'd be a fun, a night out partying or hanging out or whatever.
Yeah.
But I don't want anything from him. If I can learn stuff from him, great. If he can learn stuff from me, fantastic.
Yeah.
But I don't live my life trying to get stuff out of people unless it's offered.
Yeah.
Right?
I feel that.
You understand what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, 100%.
It's the same thing with phone calls, right? Like you're like, oh, call that guy. I'm like, I'm not calling him. I'll text him if he doesn't.
Why?
Because I'm taking up his time. A phone call is immediate.
Yeah, but communication's essential.
It is.
Depends on the context, no?
If somebody calls me and pitches something to me, I immediately lose interest and won't do business.
What if they pitch an idea that could help you make money? Would you listen?
It depends on the pitch. It probably, for me, it would be better off if you started it where you're not taking my time and forcing me to listen. If you sent me an email or a text message or whatever where I can read it and think about it, and you give me just the brief details and it interests me, I'll be in touch. Mm-hmm. But if you rip my time away from what I'm doing to pitch me something and there's a lot of fluff and salesmanship in there, I'm usually turned off right away and phone goodbye.
Yeah, you're not open to any of it.
I'm done because you're stealing my time from me, and that is my most valuable commodity. My most valuable asset is my time.
I'm not sure if you're able to do this, but who's one famous person you worked on their jet?
I don't know. There's a lot of people. I don't want to say that. It's private aviation. I don't want to ruin any relationships that I've built by airing out anybody's story or news or whatever. Are there people that
Could you just drop a name?
No.
No.
I don't want to. It's
right.
not. I mean, why? What is that going to do?
I don't know.
Does it make me better because I can say?
Makes you cooler?
I don't think it does.
No, not at all. But it was just, I don't know, it's like a little flex or something.
No,
like,
I don't think it's a
I
flex.
worked on, JFK's, private jet.
No.
He was alive.
No. He had a little airplane though. Out
Did
of
he?
Caldwell. Yeah, out of here.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so I've been around.
That's cool.
I've had a conversation.
Yeah. It's just cool that you're on social media, you're doing the cryptocurrency thing, and you fix jets
Yeah.
for, people that the whole world knows their name.
Right.
That's just
so
cool as hell.
I have there's in my career there's a lot of meetings. I don't want to say meetings like a sit down formal meeting, but a lot of connections made. Like I was on the flight. See, there's a lot of things too. A lot of people that you see on social media, those aren't their jets. Those are rentals, right? Or they're charters. Let's call them what they are. They're charters. So, if you tell me that if I tell you that I was on the beginning of one of the tours for Jay-Z and Beyonce 10 years ago, it wasn't their jet. It was a charter, right? If I tell you that I worked with Elton John, right, on his airplane, that was a charter. Now, there are some people that own jets that still charter because their airplane is down for maintenance or unavailable at the time, or they're using their jet in addition to other jets to bring numerous people to one location. That happens. The names that I'm saying are not because they don't have enough clout. That's not what I'm saying. My interactions that I have, So here, another one. I met Kanye West, and I had a short conversation with him. And it wasn't his airplane. It was one that I was associated with the guy that owned the airplane was associated with Warner Music, and they had a party, and he was at the party, and they all were traveling to the same place together. He said, "Oh, come on, take a ride with me." So when they arrived, that's when I got to shake Kanye's hand.
That's
right?
fucking
You understand?
awesome,
Like,
yeah.
but I'm not saying that as a flex. Like, I don't think that makes me any better. I don't think it takes away from anybody else or adds to anybody else. We had an interaction. I felt that he was a little rude, right?
You don't say.
I'm just saying, like, my interaction, I felt that he was a little rude with
Yeah.
me. Maybe because to him I was a nobody.
Right.
So you get the same, I give you back the same you give me. Right? So we shook hands. Hello, how are you? Can I get anything for you? Okay. And that's it. It didn't have, so there's a lot of that back and forth. Now, there's some people that own private airplanes that I would step in front of a bullet for because they are awesome, fantastic fucking people that I will bend over backwards, break my back, do whatever needs to be done to help them, to keep them in my life, so to say, because they're awesome people. There's some people that own private jets that I wouldn't piss on if they were on fire. I mean, that's just the reality of it is.
Right.
We all put our pants on the same way in the morning. There's no reason for you to treat somebody differently because of how much money you have or because of how important somebody makes you feel. Like, I don't buy that.
Right.
It doesn't matter. We're all people. We all live on this planet. We all bleed red.
Right.
We're the same.
Right. Like, just because your name is Kanye West and you have a particular talent and the whole world knows you, if you're an asshole to me, you're an asshole.
You're an asshole.
Yeah.
And I always raised my kids, we don't judge people by the color of their skin, their sexual orientation, their financial situation. We judge people by one thing and one thing only. Are you an asshole or not? And if you're an asshole, then you don't need to be in our lives.
Yeah.
You may be in the circle, but the outer ring of a circle.
Yeah.
But the close, the family is no assholes allowed.
Right. I feel that.
Although my son says to me sometimes, he goes, but you're an asshole, Dad. Why are you allowed to be here? This is my circle.
Yeah, this is my circle.
It's my circle.
Yep. Exactly.
But yeah, so that's how I feel about that. Yeah, okay. I don't want to talk about flexing. I don't find that as a flex to me. About.
Yeah, well, it's crazy because some people would have that information, have that experience, and use it as a flex.
No.
But I'm saying even if whether or not it is a flex or not, you're saying that doesn't tie into the credibility of your project. CINO. No, it doesn't make the project.
So
anymore.
there's been multiple people that I've met who are, we can use the word famous, right? And what is that? Oh, it's an emergency alert. Tornado warning is happening right now. Sorry. I normally have my phone turned off. So
not even scared.
No, I'm not scared either. We're in a bunker.
Yeah.
So sorry for in the interruption. So like I was saying, there's been many of people that are famous that have seen the CINO token logo on my T-shirt while I'm at the airport or something and have asked me about it and are interested about it. But have the same valid concerns. Where's the infrastructure? Where's this? Where's corporate adoption? Whatever. So are we in talks with those people when new things pop up? Sure. Do they watch the videos sometimes? Sure. A lot of those people have private accounts that are not their famous accounts that they get information from, their personal stuff. So we have a lot of followers and people that are watching what we're doing.
So let's talk about that. As far as like corporate adoption with CINO token.
Yeah.
Now you're in talks with Cody Holm from the founder of Spud Pay.
Yeah, we're going to whitelist Spud Pay and with the CINO Pay version. We're going to bring the stablecoin part of that foundation to our project to give operators the ability to either use the Solana token, right, to get discounts, or use the stablecoin version and maybe get the Solana token as a reward for using the stablecoin version. whoever uses the stablecoin version, any of the fees and stuff that belong in there are going to route back into the Solana coin to help build that either liquidity or token burns or whatever. Not really sure on the details yet, but I want to put it all in place first. And then we start pitching to airplane operators. Here's your options. You can use the Solana coin. You can use the stable coin. You can earn rewards on your maintenance budgets. You can,
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, it's all there, but the foundation is important.
Now, when you get customers coming to you and it gets to the point to like the invoice, or maybe even before the invoice. I'm not sure how a whole transaction works.
Right.
From before maintenance to after maintenance. Are you going to offer that as options, like their options on how they want to pay?
Absolutely.
So could you walk us through that, like paint a picture on what that would look like exactly?
I mean, it's literally just going to be an invoice, and at the bottom of the invoice, it's going to be click this link to pay with the dollar, click this link to pay with the stable coin, click this link to pay with Solana. I mean, it's everything I do when it comes to business needs to be simple. It needs to be very few steps, very simple. I don't want to bog anybody down to make it difficult or tedious or, overwhelming. I want all my business transactions in a complicated industry like I am, aviation, right? Where, we can't mess up aviation maintenance. There's no pulling over, right? When somebody leaves the ground, that airplane better be safe or else something bad's going to happen, right? That applies to everything in my business, right? It has to be right. It has to be safe. It has to be easy. It has to be, there's no complicated issues that need to happen while we're doing our business, whether it be flying, paying an invoice, or doing maintenance.
Right.
So yeah, I'm going to build it to be, and look at the app. The app is very simple. You can one-click buy CINO token. You don't have to swap for Solana. You don't have to buy from one place and transfer to wallet. You can click buy. You can click CINO. You can put in your information on Stripe, and the transaction happens in less than a minute.
What do you say to the CINO holders that have been here from the beginning that are asking you, when's the price going up? When's the price going up?
When are you guys going to start increasing the trading volume? When are you guys going to start pitching it to your friends and family? When are you going to start, it's not your problem. You're an investor. You're an investor. I'm doing all the things that a normal business would do to build the project. I'm not going to tell you when. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm not going to sit here and say on this date this is going to happen because I don't know. Right? It doesn't work that way in the markets. You know what I mean? All I can tell you is that I'm not stopping. I'm not quitting. I'm doing all the things I need to do to make this project successful. If you're getting nervous and you need that investment money, which hopefully you never invested money that you needed, right? Investment money should be disposable income that you're willing to take a gamble on. Like we were talking about gambling. Sometimes you win, sometimes you lose, sometimes you win overnight, sometimes it takes you 10 tries. This is an investment. It was pitched as a long-term investment. It was never a get-rich-quick overnight project. Just be steadfast. Hold the line. We're not stopping. We're not stopping. I'm not rugging. It's not working that way.
Right. I think we're past the point where people think that it's a rug.
I don't know. Who knows what people think?
Yeah.
People will say one thing to your face, and then behind your back, they'll say tons of other things.
Well, a lot of the people that were holding from the beginning remember CINO's massive hype phase.
Yeah, I mean, every token goes through a hype phase. Every single one of them.
Yep.
So,
but do you feel like a lot of people that bought in too late, and then when the coin finally stabilized a little under a cent, they lost hope in the project?
I'm not going to sit here and pretend to know what goes through people's minds. Of course, I'm sure some people think it's. I've had people tell me it's a dead dog. Let it die. I don't let anything die. I'm not. If you think it's a dead dog,
yeah, because we haven't even gotten to the point where it's being used for what you want it to be used for. So,
and let me ask you this: if you invested some money, and the price you bought high and the price is down, why would you even consider selling?
Yeah, I know.
You've already taken a hit.
Exactly.
You're lost. Why would you just let it take it mentally take it as an L and let it sit there?
Right.
Why would you take pennies on the dollar?
Exactly.
because you're pissed off or whatever. That makes no sense. That's emotional investing, and that should be furthest from what's going on.
100%.
Right? Let it sit there. Take the L in your mind right now, and who knows? Maybe in a year or two or whatever, 5 years, whatever. I don't know what. I'm not going to speculate. I'm not quitting on this project. I'm going to get it to be the best it can be, and I'm not stopping until I either die or it's successful. Mm-hmm. And I'm in the best health I've ever been in. So,
fuck yeah.
I mean, it's a reality, you know.
And we were talking earlier about predictions of Solana.
Right.
You want to go into that?
Well, sure. I mean, I don't like to base any plans on predictions, but when we started the CINO token, Solana was trading around $120. At our peak, Solana was trading around $300. Today, Solana is trading around 73, right? Terrible. We are in the worst bear market crypto's ever seen. However, Solana has made prediction. The Solana group or a group, I want to say the Solana group has made a prediction that they expect with infrastructure changes and adoptions and all this other project that they're expecting Solana to trade around 2,000. And by what did I say earlier? 2030?
About 2030.
By 2030. So that's 4 years away. That's the end of the next bull cycle, right? So if Solana trades at $2,000 and CINO project does nothing else, we don't do a thing, the price increase with Solana will bring us back to 23 cents. If we do half the stuff we say, right? What did I say here?
Corporate adoption.
If we regain our momentum, right? If we re-enter our hype phase because the price starts to go back up to 22 cents. If we regain our momentum with Solana being at $2,000, trading at 2,000, we should expect to see $1.09. Right?
That's crazy.
Yeah. If we hit our peak ratio, the peak of the CINO to Solana ratio, you can expect to see $1.58 per CINO. If we do the corporate adoption and build the foundation and with the app and all that stuff starts working, you can expect to see $3.27. Now, to me, that sounds like a lot of hype. Because it's if Solana does this, and if we do that, and if we do that. And everybody says if. And I'm not all about that. I'm not about making predictions. I'm telling you right now about potential. $3.27 per share of CINO would be absolutely amazing. Almost unfathomable wealth will be generated.
Right.
Let's say I'm wrong. Let's say Solana doesn't go to 2,000. Let's say we don't hit our peak ratio. All that stuff. But everything does happen. If instead of 327, what if we hit $1.27? What if we hit 85 cents? Mm-hmm. The wealth creation will be amazing even there.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
All right. So it's all about us living on the Solana tree, right? Solana's a tree. CINO token's a branch on that tree. The bigger the Solana tree gets, the better CINO token does. I'm doing all the things to build our foundation to get us to $3.27.
Mm-hmm.
You could miss the boat. You can say that the boat is sailed. You can say it's a dead dog. You can say all those things. I'm just telling you what the math says. There is a little speculation there. It's all based on if Solana hits that $2,000 per share prediction, this is where we'll be at. Mm-hmm. That's just the math based off of that prediction.
Right.
I'm not sitting here telling you, well, if CINO does this and if CINO, all those things, CINO will do. I will not quit until it does.
Right.
But being on that Solana tree, we have a force multiplier. So
it's just exciting.
It's very exciting.
Yeah.
It's very exciting when you talk numbers like that. But like I said earlier,
because it's realistic.
Yeah, I mean it is. It's one of the only Solana token projects that actually have utility behind it.
And how would you compare Solana to the other cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Cardano?
Ethereum's expensive. Bitcoin's expensive. I mean, listen, I hold lots of Bitcoin. I am a big Bitcoin investor.
What else? Faster?
No, I don't think it's faster.
Solana is faster, I thought.
Solana's faster. Yeah. Bitcoin is not faster.
Right.
Ethereum is not faster. Ethereum's expensive.
Yes.
Like, Solana is a good base to be on. It's fast. It's cheap. The project is constantly being built on. Like,
right.
do your own research, guys.
Yeah.
Like, you don't have to take it from me. Like, go out there and do some reading, right? Turn off TikTok, turn off the videos of the girls dancing and fucking cats doing cute shit. Like, get off of that for 10 minutes. Do some research on what you're invested in and see for yourself. Learn. Don't take my word for it. You know, I'm just telling you what I know. You know.
Absolutely.
I mean, I don't do the girl dancing stuff, but I do watch the cute cats, and I like Frenchies,
Dog and
French
stuff,
bulldogs.
yeah.
I love French bulldogs, and
Yeah.
so, I mean, it's fun, but use your time. Like, after you're all self-invested and you do all your investing, that's when you should be watching.
Okay.
Wasting time on videos and doom scrolling, you know?
So what's the difference between how a person in poverty thinks about money and a wealthy person thinks about money?
The people who don't have a lot of extra resources available to them, I feel like a lot of times when they are expecting resources or they get a chunk, the first thing they say is, what can I buy with this money? And that's the biggest human nature fault that we have of what can I buy? Because most things that you buy are a degrading asset. It's an asset that fails and it doesn't do anything for you. It solves a brief emotional tick. You know what I mean? Like, it's just like, oh, I got this. How many times are you excited to buy a car and you get the car and you drive it home or whatever, and you're like, this car was awesome on the drive home. This is great. This is just what I wanted. And you get home and you park the car and you go inside and you're like, I don't even want to drive it. I just like
the emotional high.
The emotional high is rapidly fades.
Yeah.
All right. So, what can I buy with this money? Big mistake. Get out of that mindset. All right. I'm not saying that I'm wealthy. I'm not saying that. All I'm saying is that people with extra available resources say or think, what am I going to do with this money so it makes money for me? How am I going to make this money work for me?
That's how they think about it.
That's how they think about it, right? Am I going to take this extra money and invest in a company? Am I going to buy some crypto? Am I going to buy property, right? And I'm going to sit on it for 3 or 4 or 5 years and then cash out on that. Like, what am I going to do with this money that works for me? Not, I got $10,000. I'm going to go buy a car that devalues the minute you drive off the lot. I'm going to go buy clothes. I'm going to buy some jewelry. I mean, jewelry is not really a terrible investment, so to say. I mean, you can always sell it for its weight. But if you're paying for the artistry in the jewelry up front, and if you're paying more than the weight of the precious metal, then it's kind of a like, you see what I'm saying? Like, I'll only buy jewelry if its weight in the precious metal is equivalent to or less than the purchase price of the jewelry right now.
So for a first-time car buyer,
Yes.
is it smarter to buy a used car for like a couple grand, and you're going to be putting some work into it over the years, or a brand new car off the lot, maybe used, maybe new, with a couple grand down?
It all depends on your individual situation. So here's the thing. If I'm working a construction job and I just need to get my body 30 miles to work, I could probably go with a reliable used car that's a little beat up. But if I'm the guy who needs to drive around all day long and bring clients to view homes, right? We don't want to have our clients getting into our 7-year-old Toyota Corolla that's got ripped seats, right? So it all depends on your situation. I can say nobody gives a shit what car you drive. None of your friend group cares. I think if anything, if you bought a car outside of your means, your friend group would become jealous of you, right? And that's not a good feeling.
And if they do care, they're not your friend.
They're not your friend. You're absolutely right. They're only there to get what they can out of you, right? So, again, you have to purchase things based on your situation and nobody else's. What makes the most amount of financial sense? If you have the cash to buy a used car and that serves the job of having that car, then do that. If you can take that cash that you have, $20,000, $30,000, and invest it at 10 or 15% a year, and take the loan where you're only paying 3 or 4% or managing that interest, then it makes more sense to invest the money and buy the car on a loan, right?
Right.
And so that's what I'm saying. Like, there's not one answer that fits that simple question. That there's not a universal answer. You have to do what's right for you, right? You have to live within your means. You know, do you need a $50,000 car? I don't know. Do you? Can you get away with a $20,000 car? Or does your job require you to be in that car? And, you know, or do you commute terrible amounts of time where you need to be comfortable, or else you're going to be going crazy because there's a lot of road noise, or the car is just not built adequate enough for you to be in it for, 40,000 miles a year.
Right.
Like, you have to make decisions based on your situation. Nothing else. Not social media, not your friend group, not your family, nothing. You need to do what's right for you, right? You need to analyze. Listen, there's some people out there who just want to buy a new car. It's a mistake. There are no cars, I don't want to say no, most cars that are mass produced today are not an investment. So why are you going to spend all that money to throw it away? But if you want a new car, you just want to have a new car, then do it. I think you're making a mistake, but you better be living well within your means, or you're bound. You're going to work your whole life to get to the bottom. Mm-hmm. Because if you make decisions like that on your wants and not your needs, there's more decisions that you're going to make that are going to be want based and not need based, and you are going to work your whole life to get to the bottom. Mm-hmm. You're going to be that guy who's 55 or 60 years old, having to work every day, all broken body, and have nothing to his name. I mean, you can do that, or pay yourself now while you're young and let that money work for you as you get older. You won't have to work. You may want to work to keep yourself busy. You may want to have something, but you don't have to. Being told you have to do something and doing something because you want to do something is two very, very different things, and something you want to strive for in life. You want to do everything that you want to do, not because you're being told to do or you have to do. Right? Does that make a difference?
Yeah. You've become quite the podcast guy.
You think so?
Yeah.
I don't know. I still hate doing it.
It's
not my. I don't find enjoyment on doing it. I find enjoyment on helping people.
Yeah.
Well,
let's
I'm glad
talk about our new idea now.
Yeah. So we had a discussion at the end of our last podcast where we want to have some people or some guests or students, whatever you want to call them, who are struggling financially. We want to bring them onto the show. We want to give them step-by-step guidance, and we want to see them in the beginning, and then we want to see them during, and we want to see them after, where my strategies or my insight, maybe things that I do, see if they get help, if it helps them. And then we want to share that with the world,
Absolutely.
Me telling you it works may not be convincing, but maybe you seeing somebody, and if I get to help those people, 1, 2, or 10, whatever it winds up being, if I get to help those people, that's a win.
So what are you going to end up doing? Like, are we going to financially evaluate them, find out their credit score?
We're gonna do all of that. We're gonna get, we're gonna credit score monitoring. We're gonna get rid of bad debt. We're gonna put all the
but
things.
But they gotta have the desire to.
Well, of course, I don't want somebody coming here who's just gonna sit here.
Right.
If you're not gonna do the work, you're not gonna make the sacrifices. Then don't fucking come.
Exactly.
Because I'm not gonna do it for you. I'm not gonna pay your bills and get you out of trouble.
Right.
You don't learn anything that way.
Exactly.
You're never. It's not your struggle then.
Yeah.
You know, like you need to
100%.
you need to understand where you are, how you got there, where you can be, what it's going to take to get there, and then getting there.
Yep.
And then you have to see the difference.
Agreed.
So
That's
yeah,
exciting.
we've put out a feeler, put out some feelers, and we have some good responses or whatever. So we're going to be selecting people, and it could be 1, it could be 2, it could be 10. I don't care what it is, as long as we get the work done.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
So-
we got some new cameras on the way. So
Yeah, absolutely.
hell yeah, we could put one right there for this.
Yep.
Right here. That's going to be awesome, dude.
Yeah.
That's going to be
So,
super
yeah, it's gonna
cool.
be good.
Yep.
It's gonna be good. So I'm hoping that like I said, if that doesn't make you all believers, I really can't do anything about that. But if
Right.
I get to help a few people get to a better place financially, and I think when you get to a better place financially, you get to a better place mentally, your confidence builds up. You're not always struggling to make
Right.
ends meet,
Yeah.
So I think
Exactly.
taking the worry out of tomorrow is a huge mental, that's a huge mental win.
100%.
Yeah. So
So any other updates on CINO before we go?
I know Cody's in Chicago this week. He's doing a big pitch for Spud Pay, and I just wait till we get online. I know I've been testing a little bit with the Spud Pay thing. I like it. It works well. We just got to get that whitelisted, get that another piece of that foundation put into the CINO project, and then we go 100% corporate adoption.
Yes.
100%.
Love to hear that.
I mean, that's the last step. We were trying to do corporate adoption in the beginning, like get that all going and get the price back up. And there's too many variables there for business people to be like, I want to do this. I don't want to do this. We're not here to throw money away. We're not here to take risks like that with our business. And I understand all that. Totally understand all that. So that's why I've pushed the corporate adoption away until we get the foundation built.
Meaning the stable coin. Because there
All
are
of it.
there are
all
no
of it.
risks
The
with
app,
the stable coin, right?
the app, the one-click buys, the peer-to-peer marketplace, the stable coin, all of that needs to be put in place before corporate adoption starts to be pushed 100%.
Mm-hmm. Awesome.
I don't want to be asked, well, why don't you have this or why don't you have that?
Okay.
I want to say, well, do you have this? Yes, I do. Do you have this? Yes, I do. Do you have that? Yes, I do. Okay, let's see the track record. Right.
Okay. Yep. So
So
we're
that's-
just building it up right now. We're
Well, you
building the
have to.
foundation,
Does-
and then
does
we're
it-
firing.
How do you build an empire on matchsticks?
Right.
It doesn't work. Mm-hmm. There needs to be solid stone foundation.
Stone, right. 100%.
Yep. That is able to withstand, right, the little tremors that Mother Nature gives us.
Right.
And I'm using Mother Nature. You understand what I'm
Exactly. 100%.
saying. We have to build a strong foundation for this business to
For
to become a-
tornadoes, earthquakes,
all
all
of
that
that.
shit. Yeah.
all of that.
100%.
So yeah, I mean, we're doing great. We did have a little bit of a sell off. I don't know why that person sold like $8,500 last week, or
Yep. I saw it.
why didn't you use the marketplace? I'm sure 10 or 15 people could have bought, because you can list 100,000 tokens and 10 or 15 people can buy as much as they want. They don't have to buy it all.
Right.
It's built so anybody can use this
That's cool.
at any level.
And you could
So
set your own price.
You can set your own price. People, I wish you would start downloading the app and start using the marketplace. If you're getting into trouble, not that that's the answer, because you're just band-aiding your way out of trouble. You're going to make the same mistakes over and over again. But if that's what you want to do, that's what you
Right.
want to do. You should be using the app for that, the marketplace.
Indeed.
So
Well, thank you guys for tuning in to another episode of the CINO Legacy Podcast. Be sure to
Absolutely.
subscribe, comment, like, share this.
Yep.
Invest in some CINO token if you'd like, if you want to come to the moon with us.
Yep.
We give you guys weekly updates on CINO. Make sure you join the Facebook group as well.
Yep.
You'd be able to talk to Ryan directly in there.
Yeah.
And stay tuned for some upcoming episodes where we feature guests. We're going to financially analyze them, basically.
Analyze and educate. Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
and I can't wait to witness it.
Yeah. No, it's going to be fantastic.
That's going to be
It's gonna
awesome.
I'm really excited about that.
Me too.
Changing people's lives. That's why we started this project.
Yeah. Hell
so,
yeah.
it's going to be good. Make sure you download the app, CINO Wallet. Search it on Apple Store or Google Play. Come on, community. You got to start using the tools.
Let's
I'm building
fucking
them.
go. Right.
We're
Let's
building
fucking
them.
go.
They're
Right.
here. So let's start using them.
Right.
All right.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you again for your time. I know it's your most valuable commodity. It is mine. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. like, share, subscribe, do all that stuff. It helps the channel. You know, those views bring in income, and that more income that comes in, we can help push that back to the project. All right. So thanks again, everyone.